Part two, folks. Part two. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. It's the Truth Serum. I did a 3-hour marathon earlier, but something I was just made aware of with Dom Cicale and John Alite, and I had to do an emergency video about my thoughts and opinions on what is going on. This is Mafia Graffiti again. I did politics and spirituality earlier, but of course, people are on MobTube and they got their certain camps and fraternities and what they like and they don't like. Now, I said a lot about that bum, Jeff Nadu, and how he tries to manipulate and be a little weasel worm that he is. And he's a weasel. And he rides the shirt tails of mobsters, and he plays these little pity patty games, and he gets off on that. And like I said, he's gonna have nobody left for his platform. He just runs a stable. His viewership is just knowledge on Googling stuff and doing historical stuff. He'll never be a RJ Roger, but that's Nadu's lane, and he needs to stay in that lane. He's a weasel bum. He plays pity patty games with gangsters, and then he interviews people that cooperated, and then he just plays every side of the fence. He's a weasel Amish bum, Jeff Nadu, the doughboy, and Dom Cicale has had enough. Now, Dom Cicale doesn't utter his name. I got his video right here. Dom Cicale doesn't utter his name. I don't know why, but I'm the Truth Serum. I don't care if Jeff Nadu reports me to YouTube or anything like that, the weasel bum that he is. And I want you to listen to now John Alite, who actually gave me my first compliment on I was a cup of JoJo way back. And John Alite said, "Keep going, Joe. You got a good little show. You were a runner. You did this." John Alite gave me my first shout out. And now John Alite just became a New Jersey, councilman. So he rised up. He changed his life around. And that weasel doughboy over there can't stand it. He can't stand it. Who is this bum MobTube hack that can't take it? And Dom Cicale doesn't say his name. I'm saying it. Jeff Nadu, the bum, mob hack. He resents gangsters. He hates rats. He hates mobsters, whether they're a rat or not. He rides their shirt tails to get subscribers, and he's just a straight up hack. And I told Dom Cicale on my videos, not personally, I said, don't get in bed with him. You will see what he is down the road. You will see the bum that this Jeff Nadu actually is. You will become aware. Your eyes will open up to the bum that he is and what he thinks about mobsters, just mobsters. He resents mobsters, but then he wants to act gangster. He's got complete emotional issues, this kid, this Jeff Nadu, this Amish doughboy bum. And it's good to see that Dom Cicale, so Jeff Nadu can't accept that John Alite changed his life around and is doing something good for society. As a councilman, now I want a guy like John Alite to be my city councilman, because he ain't gonna let no crap fly. And he has a lot of things for the children. He wants the children to grow up good and have successful lives. But Jeff Nadu, the weasel bum, fat ass doughboy over there that hates mobsters, he hates everything. He just rode the shirt tails for his channel. He never come up with an original concept or thought. He just piggybacks everything, the hack that he is. And he wants to talk smack about John Alite. Like, well, then you might as well talk about Paul in the Bible, because Paul in the Bible was Saul, and Saul was a serial killer. So if you don't like John Alite, you don't like anybody that could change their life around, even as a biblical person as Paul in the Bible, because Paul used to be Saul, who was a serial killer and killed Christians. So you can't accept that people could change their lives around. When are you going to change yours around, Jeff Nadu, and enter the human race and be a regular thinking person than a strung out, sketched out wannabe MobTube hack? And I knew it would take time for Dom Cicale to stay away. The guy's a bum. He's he'll just betray you in a minute just for views and everything else. His channel is just leveled off. Dom Cicale's channel is rising up. The Jeff Nadu riffraffers, MobTube riffraffers, will just level off. He'll just do historical stuff, talk about Johnny No Nos in 1972 from the Genovese family, did this and that. Yeah. Okay, Jeff. All right. Yeah, good show, buddy. Good show. Get up there and do your thing. But it's reassuring to see that I was wondering how gangster and how much wisdom and foresight that Dom Cicale had. That to be wanting getting in bed with the likes of a Jeff Nadu bum, and it was reassuring that Jeff Nadu showed his ass, wants to talk smack about John Alite, who's doing something good for children before he became councilman, doing projects and things for the youth centers. John Alite, now he's an elected official. Jeff Nadu can't accept that. No, Jeff Nadu can't. Who's this Jeff Nadu MobTube hack? Jeff Nadu can't accept that. So Jeff Nadu, report me to YouTube because you don't like my content. Report me, okay? Report me. Now let's listen to Dom Cicale. You should have said his name. You should have said his name, Dom. But I'll say it for you, okay? I'll say it for you. Happy Phil, what's going on? So Dom Cicale just did a video congratulating John Alite for he changed his life around and he's successful. He's a politician now, and he's gonna stand. I'd rather have Dom Cicale, even Dom Cicale, as a councilman. I'd even have him because these people have seen all the tricks. They've seen all these political tricks. They've seen all these curveballs. You ain't getting any curveball in that city council on John Alite. You're not. No, John Alite's going to call you out for the benefit of the people that voted for him. Jeff Nadu doesn't like it. The Amish Mongoloid, who's been hacking mobsters on his channel since the beginning of time, Jeff Nadu don't like it. You don't like a guy that's going to stand firm and defend the people because you got a MobTube hacked out YouTube channel? You're a scrub bum, Jeff Nadu. You're a bum. Now listen. Now Dom Cicale just did a video, and we're going to piggyback Dom Cicale. Now, I don't care if Dom Cicale read it or anything else. I don't care if Dom Cicale and John Alite cooperated or not. That was in their other life. I don't care that Paul that wrote the Bible, a book in the Bible. I don't care that Paul killed Christians. Saul changed to Paul and changed his life around. I don't care about what he did in the past life. Dom Cicale, John Alite might have cooperated and did whatever they did, but they're doing positive, meaningful things in society. Not just in whacked out mafia YouTube world that this bum reporter Jeff Nadu wants to speak on and have his whacked out thoughts about because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it that these guys are trying to do good. What does this bum support? Evil? So a guy can't change his life around and do good for society, no matter who he is? Saul changed his life around and became Paul and wrote a book, one of the best books in the Bible. So who's this bum Amish fat ass doughboy called Jeff Nadu trying to speak on like he's got some kind of hierarchy leverage to say, well, we value Jeff Nadu's opinion. He's a MobTube hack bum. He'll never be a gangster. And then, God forbid that John Alite got elected for city councilman in New Jersey. Really? Really? Who should they elect? You, Jeff? Amish rodent, fat ass bum that all you did is piggyback mob stories, and then you leverage and play both sides of the fence. Then you'll talk smack, and then you'll weasel your way back. You're a bum. Your channel is leveraged out. Dom Cicale, like I said, is rising up. A hack like you will only keep your core subscribers. That's all. And the suckers that donate to your channel, just those suckers that you beg for money all the time, them suckers that watch your channel and donate. You're a hack. Your DNA is suspect as a YouTuber and as a human being. Your DNA, the fabric that you're woven from, some Amish weirdo fabric that you were bred from, I don't know. Forgive me, God. Forgive me, Jesus. But your DNA is suspect. In the real world and on YouTube, is trying to be a mob reporter. You're a bum, you're a hack, and you can't applaud people that change their life around. So you must be against Paul in the Bible that used to be a serial killer that killed Christians, but Saul converted his life around and became Paul that wrote one of the best books in the Bible. So you don't applaud change. You don't applaud change. You don't see the value in that. You just want to roll and be some kind of controversial MobTube hack bum, Amished out, fat ass, woked out, sketched out, bum hack. What a scrub this Jeff Nadu is. What a straight up scrub. I'm back, Lose Life. So we're going to play. Now, I was watching Dom Cicale before, and he's commiserating with Jeff Nadu before a month or so ago. And I'm thinking, how is this Dom Cicale fallen just to get subscribers or a couple extra dollars? Dom Cicale's wealthy. Dom Cicale's channel is going to rise up. Jeff Nadu, the mob hack, needs Dom Cicale more than Dom Cicale, the rising star, needs him. So why would Dom Cicale pony up to a scumbag bum like Jeff Nadu, who hates gangsters, he resents mobsters, he's jealous, he's resentful, he's a basket case? So I couldn't understand that Dom Cicale couldn't see this bum Nadu for what it was worth. And then John Alite becomes successful and changes his life around, and little old Jeff Nadu, the fat ass freaking blimp, the laughing stock of MobTube, he can't take it. Like, oh, you can't elect somebody that was a gangster. Really, Jeff? Really? So Paul shouldn't have wrote a book in the Bible because he was a serial killer that killed Christians? So is that what you're saying too? Because one of the greatest books ever written, one of the books in it is called the Book of Paul, and he used to be Saul. So Paul, St. Paul, didn't have a right to change his life around? St. Paul, who used to be named Saul, was a serial killer that killed Christians? So Jeff Nadu doesn't like it. The MobTube hack, Mafia hater, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. John Alite does a lot of charitable work and volunteers for the youth. What did Jesus used to say? What was most important to Jesus in the Bible? Don't harm any youth. Don't do anything crazy to the youth. John Alite is metaphorically just like a biblical character. Now, I'm not calling him a saint like St. Paul, but he's following the same traditions and precepts that you can change your life around from being a killer, and you could change your life and redefine yourself and your legacy and become a good doer in society. And he cares about the youth. And now he's a councilman in New Jersey. But Jeff Nadu doesn't like it. Do you like Paul? Do you like St. Paul, Jeff Nadu? Do you criticize St. Paul in the book, in the Bible? This bum? Now, I try to say on my videos before about this bum, Jeff Nadu, and how he tries to intimidate and and manipulate both sides. And he likes to play soap opera, mob soap opera. Tune in tomorrow when I pit this guy against this guy. And he's a little weasel worm that, got his little platform. He tries to create soap operas. He's a bum. He's not even an intellect. He's a hack. He's got no schema of knowledge. All he knows is controversy and bullcrap. There's nothing truly organic or anything original about this bum. He tells mob stories because he can create a story. He's got a boring life, about a boring life, and all he does is piggyback, and then he tries to create drama. You can't even give a guy props about changing his life around. What? Somebody can't do better for themselves and rise up, rise up, rise their life up. So if you're an ex-gangster, you're just doomed. You're just doomed. You're an ex-gangster, so you're just doomed for life. You can't change. Well, St. Paul was a gangster, but he wrote a book in the Bible. What, Jeff Nadu? Aren't Amish people religious? Don't you know the books? Ezekiah? Isn't half of your family names Zebekiah, Zebariah, Jakari? Don't you know the Bible? Don't you Amish? I thought you Amish were biblical. Don't you know the standards and precepts and fundamental issues of the Bible? You don't the Amish adhere to that? So obviously not. Well, I guess you don't. I can't throw away the Amish because of some bum. Like the Amish might be fundamentally good people. I can't throw them all under the bus because this Amish bum Jeff Nadu is a straight up nutcase. But he can't even see that principle that people could change their lives around. There's stories in the Bible about it. So now an ex-mobster, John Alite, changes his life around. And we're not supposed to applaud it because doughboy, fat ass Jeff Nadu doesn't like it. Wow. Wow. That's why his subscribers are leveled out. And Dom Cicale finally seen the light, and we're going to play it right now. I'm just going to pop in. It'll take 2 minutes for it to come on where he actually, Dom Cicale isn't going to say his name. I'm saying his name, Jeff Nadu. I'm saying it. Dom Cicale ain't going to say it on there, but we all know who he's talking about, okay? Because we know the bum that this Jeff Nadu is, and we know his tactics. So this is a no-brainer.
Maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I approach this. But I do have to say this. As far as Alite, we all know now he's a councilman in New Jersey, and we are going to expose him today. We're definitely going to expose him, but in a good sense. Hey, John, I know you're watching. My brother. Congratulations. I hope with this position, you'll definitely do good. Because you, as myself, you have something to prove to people that we can change. There's going to be times we slip up, myself included. But I'm proud. Like I told you, I hit John up on the side. We just missed each other with calls back and forth playing phone tag. But, I'm proud of him. I'm really proud, and I don't want to sound like it's condescending.
You can't take that, Jeff Nadu. You can't take that. People could change their life around to do better. You can't take that, doughboy. You can't take it.
But I'm really proud of what he accomplished. He's doing good. And folks, not everybody's always going to agree. There's going to be arguments. We still have that gangsterish mentality in us embedded. So there'll be times I come out of my mouth with stupid things that I don't mean. And it happens. We're only human. But to make a complete turnaround the way Alite...
Now, let's not hold politicians in such high esteem, okay? Because politicians are more gangster than regular politicians. So let's just get that established, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that let's just don't automatically hold politicians in such high esteem that a guy like John Alite can join that fraternity, okay?
I commend him. A lot of people say, well, he lied about this, he lied about that. But what about, number one, we don't even know. What about all the stuff he's doing for kids behind the scenes, helping people that
It's
we
coming.
don't see.
It's coming,
It's not
folks.
out there. So I have to give it to him. You know, I'm just very impressed, very impressed. And listen, I'm just focused on too many things, but I would definitely try to do something like that. That's giving back. I'm swamped. I'm in a different mindset. Once I maybe get everything launched and I hit my goals.
It's coming about another minute or so. It's coming where he won't say Jeff Nadu, but we know who he's talking about. Okay. I knew this Dom Cicale would finally come around and see the light that this hack bum Nadu and what he tries to run on YouTube. The beggar that he is.
Financially, where I want, because I just want to shut all the haters up. I have a lot of haters in my family, outside my family. Just showing people, no matter how down and out you are, how the odds are against you, you can always succeed. Look at Alite. Look at him. What he has accomplished. So I'm proud of him. And yeah, exposed. Everybody right away, everybody thinks it's going to be a bad spin. Oh, Dom's going to expose him. Dom's going to hit him hard. Oh, Dom is commending him. And you know what bothers me?
Here it comes.
And I wasn't even going to talk about this, meaning commend him. So I didn't have to do.
Here it comes, folks. Dom Cicale couldn't take the pressure. He doesn't say his name, but we all know who he's talking about. This bum. Now, he finally realized the mental hopscotch that this Jeff Nadu's been playing with his YouTube channel and how he interacts with gangsters, rats, and all this and that. And he plays the soap opera game. It's reassuring to see that I was so, I don't know, just surprised or aggravated that Dom Cicale was doing joint ventures with this bum. So here it comes, folks. Here it comes.
Live. But I wanted to after I saw somebody coming on YouTube.
Here it comes.
And all they had was negative things to say about him.
Right.
Well, I don't think he changed. He threatened me. He did this. You know what? You're just a jealous little nobody. And if it wasn't for us.
Here it comes, folks. And if it wasn't for the mobsters and the cooperators and mobsters, Nadu would not have a channel. He would not have a channel. He never come up with an original concept in his life. So here it comes. God bless you, Dom Cicale, and God bless you, John Alite. Real gangsters. Dom Cicale, run for congressman, not congressman, but run for councilman in Florida. Because I would rather have these guys that seen every curveball on planet Earth, and they will stick up on your behalf. They can change their lives around and benefit society. I trust them more than the status quo politicians out there, historically speaking. Okay, Jeff Nadu, you bum.
People like myself, I'll even say, because you don't even like us rats. And I know it.
See?
I already know. I see by the way you talk, your demeanor. You think you're better than everybody, but you're not. You're not. You would have nothing on these platforms if it wasn't for people like us. So let's get that straight first and foremost. And as I said this before, I don't condone fighting. But I will never. Somebody puts their hands on me, all bets are off. Somebody looks at threatens me, all bets are off. And just you just so hateful and jealous at the end of the day to talk shit. And then you gave a few little props at the end about Alite. You some garbage. You're just a jealous little envious pud boy. You're nothing. You really are a loser. You definitely are a loser. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Guy makes an accomplishment that nobody did yet. He's the first one out of the box to do something like that. And you want to throw stones at him.
Nadu.
You want to throw your innuendos. You're a piece of shit. You definitely are a piece of shit. Little man. This is what I mean, folks, with the haters. But people want to go to the channels and give them likes, give them money, begs for money every left and right. Feel free to donate. Feel free to donate. You know, folks, you're just a little mutt. I'm sorry. You're a mutt. I'm going to call it the way I see it. Can't hold my tongue. Really, I don't like that. Here a guy is trying to do better, trying to help people. Gets a position, then you have the haters there because they can't do it, or they just don't have the wayward. But John, keep on pushing forward, brother. Keep on doing what you're doing, and you know what? Let them hate because they're in your back mirror right now, brother. They're in your back mirror. Prove them wrong. Keep on moving forward. If you need somebody else to speak to the kids, you want to call for somebody since you're cap.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus, that the truth comes out that Don Cicale was getting manipulated by that bum, and they finally sees the light. That this guy, this MobTube hack, Jeff Nadu, that been playing these soap opera mob games all on his channel, all causing controversy, trying to play these guys like puppets to gain views. Of course, it's a hustle. But I was wondering, when will these ex-gangsters, or just when will they see the light and know that guy's a parasite? When will they see the parasite that this Jeff Nadu is? He's a hater for somebody that's trying to change their life and do good. But he wants to talk smack. Like he's an authority on something. He's a washed up barstool bum. He's a sketched out, he's not even a reporter. He's just a guy to create drama. He's not looking for any good, valuable things in life and life lessons and how we can grow and get better. We all fall short of the heavenly glory. We're all sinners, but we have the chance to change our lives around. That's applaudable. That's applaudable in this human race. But you got a guy so hell-bent, this Amish whacked out guy, Nadu, that's so hell-bent and self-absorbed and such a psychopath that he still wants to hang his hat on drama and negativity and create some views and just be this bum. And I thank God and Jesus that he is the plague. He is kryptonite. He will never I'm guessing he can't even buy, he can't even pay X rats anymore to go on his channel. I hope that the X-Rats are financially secure, that they don't need to get in bed with a bum like Jeff Nadu to ride the shirt tails of mobsters and try to have some kind of financial gain on social media. I hope that nobody else will entertain to go on and be a guest on the Jeff Nadu channel, because he's washed out. And he reeled Dom Cicale in, but Dom Cicale seen the light. After this John A. Light incident, Dom Cicale seen the light. Jeff Nadu needs the mobsters more than the mobsters need Jeff Nadu. He's a hack. He's a social media hack, scrumble bum. And then just like the same script, the same vernacular, the same verbiage that always comes out of this Nadu's mouth is he'll insult you, he'll put you down, he'll do all this backdoor soap opera stuff. And then at the end, he'll try to weasel out of it and go, well, geez, I'm glad that John Halo, like some little weasel, wormy way out, like, forget about the 10 minutes of bashing the guy or whatever. And now, well, yeah, really? What kind of bum scrub is that? The guy changed his life around. He's always been charitable for the youth, on top of it, for the youth, for the next generation. Jeff Nadu doesn't like it. I trust John A. Light in city council more than any other councilman in that city council. I trust John A. Light because he's going to come straight. John A. Light's going to come correct as a councilman. I trust him more than the traditional historical politicians. And Dom Cicale, run for councilman if you seek out that, because You're not going to get any curveballs and any bull crap out of these dinosaur politicians that doesn't have your benefit in mind. The only one left is Gene Barillo to send him over the deep end. Yeah, Mickey Griggs. Yeah. So you got these washed out, sketched out bums like Jeff Nadu, like he's an authority. He's a Google hack. He's a mob wannabe. He's a wannabe mob, but then he resents them because he's sketched out. He needs a ton of psychotherapy, but that couldn't even help him. It's in his DNA. He's sketched out in his DNA. But how you can't applaud anybody in society for changing their life around to try to do better. Hey, dude, don't care. His channel is leveled off. Google mob stories. Just Google your mob stories, Doughboy, and just do whatever. Don't try to act gangster. Don't try to create mob tube soap operas. Just do your Google hack. You're a Google hack and get your mob stories off of Google and tell them. It's that plain and simple. You're not going to be involved in any more soap operas. You can't trick people into conflict. You probably won't even be able to interview any type of ex-mobster anymore. You showed your ass too many times. Dom Cicale is the rising star. Dom Cicale is the rising star. John Alite is the rising star. You're a mob tube hack, Doughboy, that's bottomed out. You got people that want to just hear historical mob stories, so you research them and you do your story and do that. Stay in your lane, fat ass. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. You don't want somebody to succeed and change their life around? What are you, some authority on that? You're a bum. You're a bum. Straight up bum. You probably don't even like that. What? So St. Paul that wrote a book in the Bible changed his life around from being a serial killer? John Alite might have been a killer, but he's changed his life around for the good of humanity. You don't like that? A feel-good story, how people could change their life around, overcome the odds. You don't root for the underdog to change their life around. No, you want to be a fat-ass Amish bum, mob hack, and give your bullshit opinions on stuff that has humanistic value, whether you're a Christian or not. Good feeling stories. Why? Because your life is so sketched out and washed out. You've been a fat ass blimp your whole freaking life. So you resent kindness and loyal and compassion and love. You resent that because you couldn't lose a couple 100 pounds on your own. So please forgive me if you got picked on as a kid or whatever your trajectory. What sketched your mind out that bad? Forgive me, God. Forgive me, Jesus. Forgive me, Jesus. Forgive me. But what was the trajectory of your life that led you to this type of thinking? Were you traumatized so bad that you can't even find a feel-good story of an underdog overcoming the odds to do good for society? You can't even find the applaudable intrinsic value to that. What happened to you in your lifetime? What road did you take that led to this mentality? What happened to you, bro? What happened that your mind is so whacked out? The soap opera game is over on YouTube. The MobTube soap opera game is over. You're not going to be able to interview any more rats. You exposed your ass too many times, and thank God Dom Cicale finally seen through the light. And John Alite was the first guy on YouTube that told me he said, keep going. I was a cup of JoJo before I was a truth serum. He said, wow, we remember guys like you, Aaron Boys, blah, 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 blah. Keep doing your show, Joe. John Alite didn't have to give me the confidence and encouragement when I had 77 subscribers. He didn't have to. He had it in his heart to say, keep going, because I was talking about just quitting the show. Happened to be John Alite. And this bum wants to put him down. Wow. It boggles my mind. I'm not surprised that Nadu, well, why would he even speak on it? He can't create any more soap operas. He's going to have to come up with a lot of money to pay ex-mobsters to do interviews. Okay, Jeff? So get your checkbook out, Jeff Nadu, if you want to interview any more gangsters. Okay? You're the plague. You're the plague. You rode their shirt tails for your whole YouTube channel career, and you play all these pity-patty games, and now you're exposed. And Dom Cicale is rising up on YouTube faster than ever, and he called you a bum. And we all know you're a bum. Put everything else aside. MobTube, soap opera, put everything else aside. For just the fact that a person can change their life around and try to do good for society. It ain't like John Alite was a bad criminal and now he's just got a factory job. No, John Alite was in the Mafia, and then he changed his life around to benefit the children and the youth and society. That's more applaudable. He didn't become a plumber, not that a plumber's a bad thing. He just didn't take a everyday other job, which is applaudable also. But he benefits he's always had, just like Joey Merlino gives a lot of stuff away to the youth. Just like Joey Merlino. John Alite is for the youth coming up. Jeff Nadu doesn't like that. This Amished out fat ass bum that hates anything that is good, whether it's a gangster, ex-gangster or not. What happened to this Nadu during his lifetime? What happened to Nadu in his formidable years when this big mongoloid head was when his brain was developing in that mongoloid head? Forgive me, Jesus. How does his brain get so sketched out? Or something so obvious that people overcome, people beat the odds. And you got a MobTube Google hack that it doesn't praise that or applaud it? Try to interview more ex-gangsters, Jeff Nadu. Try to interview more ex-gangsters. They'll be as rare as the dodo bird, because you are the plague. You are the plague. Don't shame yourself, folks. He'll have to write a big check to interview anybody from this point forward. So Jeff Nadu, you better keep begging for donations on your channel. So you're going to have to write a big check to any other gangster that you're going to have to interview. So keep begging and beg. Because it's going to cost a pretty penny after this little cutie pie episode. You're like the plague. Your channel is the kryptonite to gangsters. Just tell historical stories about the Lucchese's and the Genovese and just be a reporter. Just be a reporter, you retard. Just be a reporter. You show your ass once again. You will become, if you not already have become, the social media plague. You will be the plague, and people will want to distance themselves from you as much as possible. So you could play all your cutie pie tricks, create conflict in soap operas. Your channel is leveled. It's barely got a pulse. You got all those carryovers from Barstool. You had all those built-in crossover subscribers for Barstool, and you don't even have 200,000 subscribers yet. Another, he rode the shirt tails of Barstool. He rides the shirt tails of gangsters. He does nothing original. He hasn't put in the footwork or the groundwork. He hasn't put the time and energy into it. And he's flattening out. He's flattening out. You cross over from Barstool, a cushy transfer to doing your YouTube channel, and you don't have 100,000, 200,000 subscribers. I wonder why. You're a Mama Luke. You're not likable. You're a bum. You got those core subscribers in your bag, yes. But exponentially speaking, from this time forward, you ain't rising. You're not rising fast. You're flattened out. You're flattened out, bro. You're exposed for the bum you are. A feel-good story. You want to hack that. Because Dom Cicale was smart enough not even to mention your name. Because that's all you do is trying to create conflict and soap operas to get views and subscribers and play the conflict game. Dom Cicale didn't even mention your name, you bum. I mentioned it. Jeff Nadu, the doughboy Amish sketched out hater bum that doesn't want people to rise up and overcome the odds, being an underdog that can achieve and try to do something good for society, is a councilman. No, I guess that ain't good enough for Jeff Nadu. He wants soap opera conflict and all these soap operas and all that. That's all he's done. That's all his platform has been from day one. Barstool knew it. Barstool knew it way back. Get over. There's the door. There's the door. He thought he was too big, and they offered him to come back. He said, no, I'll rise my channel up. Well, now be the beggar on your channel. Be the beggar. Beg now when you had it cushy with Barstool. You had it cushy with Barstool, but you're a psychopathic megalomaniac bum that thought, well, I could just springboard from Barstool and have 500,000 subscribers in no time. No. If you checked your subscriber ticker, it's flattened out, Jeff Nadu. I wonder why. I don't have enough time in the evening right now because we'd be here to midnight. So there you have it. Thank you, Dom Cicale. Thank you. And happy anniversary, Dom Cicale. 10-year anniversary. Happy anniversary to you on St. Paddy's Day. So there you have it, folks. Yeah, I'm glad that Cicale saw it. And you got MobTube hack, Google Meister hacks out there like that don't appreciate a person that could beat the odds. Jeff Nadu, can you even applaud somebody that could overcome a medical condition? Something that's feel good, is that applaudable? Are you just a psychopathic bum that is so whacked out? I really, seriously, I wonder what happened to this guy in his formidable years with his psychological development, the stages of development, like Piaget and Skinner and Pavlov and Sigmund Freud. As a therapist, I'm wondering what happened to this Nadu in his stages of development that he got this sketched out to this day. What happened to this guy? God forgive me if there's some bad things that happened to this bum. Because when you act and behave like that by yourself, and even worse, on a social media channel, it makes one say, what happened to this guy? Am I being too hard on him because something bad happened to him in the developmental stage of that mongoloid brain? What impeded that brain? What stunted that brain into the way his thinking apparatus operates to this day? Not even a feel-good story. Wow. John Martin, Misery Midget. So, being aggravated, yeah, but as a therapist, psychologist, you try to wonder the why or how. How does a person get from point A to point B? What happened in the interim that a bum doesn't applaud a feel-good story? Whether it's John Alite or John Smith, a feel-good story. You can I was on life support. I'm supposed to, you overcome it. You beat the odds. It's an example for all us fellow human beings and humanity to show that don't give up. You can still achieve. You might have some obstacles and hurdles. Your mind might be a little messed up here or there, but you can redeem yourself to get better. Don't give up. No matter what your past is, don't give up. You can rise up. We are the children of God. Jeff Nadu doesn't like that. What's he? A demonic? He worships. He wants bad ilk in people. So John Alite can't give you any more mob stories. You can't hack any more John Alite mob stories, Jeff Nadu, and piggyback mobsters. So that you got no more content. So go back to your computer and Google, do your Google stuff and create content on the backs of gangsters. And if somebody changes their life around, you got to crap on it. Oh man, what a bum! What a complete bum, John Martin. Everyone grows up. Yeah, he makes a dime off. He's trying to do the hustle. Yeah, YouTube, MobTube, soap opera. Yeah, the element of hustle is there, of course. But it doesn't dismiss the fact that you should still have some traditional core values. You don't have to be a Bible thumper, but just some humanistic core values. Changing your life around to do good for society is overcoming the obstacles. It's a core value, feel-good story. But Jeff Nadu has to tell his sucker retarded people that watch him, them sucker retarded viewers that watch him, he has to tell them what to applaud and what to crap on. They wait on Jeff Nadu to tell them which way they should think about a good story or a bad story. Those sucker bums over there that watch Jeff Nadu. Those sucker bums. And all he does is beg for donations. He left Barstool, the millionaires, he left them because he was too big for his britches and he thought he could make more money off of YouTube. Now he's a YouTube mob hack that does his live streams, and all he does is beg. That's all he does is beg. Barstool's laughing at him. Now you're begging for crumbs on every video. Yeah. You thought you piggybacked and springboarded from Barstool to turn into a MobTube hack and beg on your live streams for money. The joke is on you, Jeff Nadu. You were wrong. Yeah, James Rockford. And then he tries to tell me and others on what stories to tell and what not. Like, I gotta bow down to Jeff Nadu. Is it all right if I do this, Amish whacked out doughboy Jeff Nadu? Can I get your approval before I do this? I didn't get the memo that you were the MobTube YouTube sheriff, you washed out fat ass bum. I didn't get the memo. Sorry. Do I have to get your approval before I tell a story on my channel? Huh, Mongoloid? Forgive me, Jesus. Lose life. Let's just wait and see how long it takes and see how much money it'll take for Jeff Nadu to pay to interview a gangster. That's all. Got to be a real crazy ex-gangster to want to go on Jeff Nadu. A real desperate, got to be an ex-gangster that's a crackhead. You'd have to find an ex-gangster that is a modern-day crackhead so Jeff Nadu could give him a couple $100 so he could get some crack to do an interview, because you ain't going to get any reputable thinking ex-gangsters. Whether they've all cooperated. But I applaud and I respect Dom Cicale and John Alite. I have my opinions about cooperators and all this and that. But in the real world of society, people had their past lives and they change for the good. What have you done today is what counts. We could all change. We're not perfect. We're sinners. We all fall short, but we could change. So I'm not concerned about Dom Cicale or John Alite. It means more to me that they changed their life around. That is a mafia fraternity. But in society is our everyday life. They're helping kids out that are struggling. Disadvantaged youths out to try to raise their lives out. They're trying to impact a bigger population than whether they ratted on the mob or not. Screw the mob. Screw the mob. The mob don't have their back. So I respect John Alite and Dom Cicale like no other. I respect them. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to do good. We could all change and do better for ourselves and maybe society and the disadvantaged youth and anybody else that might be an underdog. Jeff Nadu? You don't want people to help the underdog? You want everybody to be miserable like you? Your fat ass miserable life? They chainsawed the fat off of your fat ass? What? Sorry that you're youth and coming up and maybe you might have been the brunt of people picking on you or bullying you. I don't know what led you to this dementia. Forgive me, God, forgive me, Jesus. It's not a pretty thing to be bullied and picked on, but I don't know what happened to this bum Nadu through his formidable years of development. But he's smart enough to know he's coming sideways and whack. He's a little worm, little slippery snake worm that gets his kicks off of that kind of stuff. Because he could never join the human race. So he gets a little thrill within himself to play mob tube soap opera games. That he's turned on by that. That's his little turn on, this weirdo Mama Luke. I could forensically analyze that bum. It's a very simple, it's a no-brainer. But something happened, unless the guy just chooses to just be a straight up asshole. Because he's just a bum. It's just in his DNA to just be a bum. And he resents society. He resents regular people living their lives, doing their things, because how his life became so sketched out. They develop resentment. And then he does a mob tube channel where he resents the gangsters. He resents people changing their life around. Misery loves company. Misery loves company. Okay? So there you have it. Thank you, John Martin. I had to get it off my chest. I saw Dom Cicale's video. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. Francis, thank you for showing up. I had to do a double header, emergency broadcast to expose. Yeah, Dom Cicale didn't want to say it, but yeah, that's that bum Jeff Nadu that can't take the pressure that John Alite changed his life around and became city councilman for New Jersey. And that bum Jeff Nadu can't take the pressure. I'll say his name because I don't care what they do to me on here. I'm on the right team of Jesus and God. I'm on the right side. Dom Cicale, I understand you got a lot more at stake with what you're doing with your channel. I'll say it, though. I'll say it. It's Jeff Nadu. Jeff Nadu. Okay, Dom? I'll say it. All right? I'll say it. That squirreled out, weaseled out Amish mongoloid bum. Okay? All right, folks. There you have it. Emergency. Yeah. Johnny D. Yeah, that's it. Rewind the video. I put Dom Cicale up here, and I said it before. Dom Cicale, what are you getting in bed with this bum? You can't see. There's no gain. There's no monetary gain. There's no subscriber gain to hitching your wagon to a scumbag bum like him that doesn't even root for the underdog, whether it's John Alite or anybody else in society that somebody could change their life around. No. This bum doesn't like himself. Misery loves company. He's a mob tube hack, a mob soap opera hack. And I'll see if he does any more interviews. If you're going to interview ex-gangsters, Jeff Nadu, anytime in the future, the price of doing business went up because you're going to have to pay some desperate ex-gangster a nice pretty penny to go on your bum show. So get your checkbook out, and all you suckers that watch him, you better donate pretty good to that bum. Because it's going to cost him. It's going to have to write a pretty good check. Unless he finds some ex-gangster that's hooked on crack and he could do an interview for pay a guy $100. You're going to have to find an ex-gangster on crack, Jeff Nadu, if you want anybody recognizable name. You ain't going to get a recognizable name to do an interview on your channel. No, sirree. No, you're sketched out, you're washed out, and you can't even applaud somebody for changing their life. Dom Cicale, thank you, Dom Cicale. Thank you. And thank you, John Alite, who actually gave me my first shout out. Little old me. Yeah. So thank you, folks. God bless you all. I'm going to call it there. I had to do emergency broadcast. Happy St. Paddy's Day. God bless you all. Stay safe. And we're going to come back and rock and roll. I had to get it off my chest that how low will this Jeff Nadu stoop, this mongoloid YouTube hack bum? How low? John Alite has done nothing but be charitable to the youth, donating his time to underprivileged youths in the city. Becomes councilman, and Jeff Nadu doesn't like it. Really? He's washed out. The light will overcome the dark. And that bum Nadu is a complete hacked out, Google hacked out mob hack. Mob hack. Go walk the streets in Brooklyn, bum. Go walk the streets in Brooklyn, okay? Okay, hack? All right, folks, thanks a lot. God bless you. Hit the like button, share button, notification. We're just going to keep pumping away. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for giving us this day. And forgive me for my sins. I know, I swear, and everything else. Forgive me. I can't take the pressure. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't take the pressure. But you got to stand on something. And when you stand on people that want to do good for society and children, defend them. Forgive me that I communicated it, God. I can't take the pressure. I swear, but I'm sorry. But I call it like I see it. All right, folks. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening. And we'll keep rocking and rolling. God bless you all.